So today I don't feel my best, so I decided to do the absolute most with my makeup and my look for today's video for absolutely no reason, because after I'm done filming this, I'm gonna take all of this off, so why bother? I don't know. Hey everyone, it's Mafalda and welcome to my May TBR. So today I'm here to talk to you guys about my May TBR, which I started planning so long ago because I don't really know. I liked my April TBR, but at the same time, I wanted to read all of these books and I'm just super excited about everything that I'm reading this month. And like I said, I started planning this TBR a really long time ago, and then a week ago I saw the Asian Readathon announcement video from Cindy and I just tweaked a few things because most of the books on my TBR were already Asian authors. I just added a few more because why not? So I have 7 books to talk about. One of them I still don't have physically with me because it's on its way to me, but the other 6 I have with me. So let's just get started with my TBR for the month of May. So the first prompt of the Asian Readathon is to read any book written by an Asian author, and I think all of these, yeah, all of the 6 books that I have here with me are by Asian authors, so I'm just gonna grab the first one. So for example, one of them is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. I've been meaning to read this book for so long because I want to watch the TV show as well, and also because Celeste Ng is such a celebrated author, like everyone loves her work, so I'm just really curious about this one. And this book is set in the suburbs and it follows a very tight-knit community, and it follows specifically 2 families, the richer sons and then a single mother and a daughter named Mia and Pearl, I think. Yeah, Mia and Pearl. And I think those 2 families are very close until a friend in the suburban community tries to adopt a Chinese American baby, and then those 2 families are against each other and have opposite opinions about the situation. It just seems like a super interesting book full of great discussion, so I'm really ready to read this one. Now the next 2 prompts are to read any book featuring an Asian protagonist and to read any book written by an Asian author in your favorite genre. And for this one, I'm doubling up and I am putting Darius the Grey Is Not Okay. This is a contemporary book and this is our May book club pick for the 20-something booklet that I host with Casey. I have all the socials down below if you want to read this book with us in May, but I'm super excited for this one because it's my favorite genre and it just seems like the hard-hitting contemporary that I need right now, so I'm super excited to read this one with you guys in May. And this book follows Darius, obviously, and he's half Persian and he has a lot of depression and anxiety, and then one day he goes to Iran for the first time to visit his family, I think, and then Darius meets the boy next door named Sorab and they form a very good friendship. And I think it's about Darius discovering himself and discovering his identity, and I just think this is going to be a next favorite. I don't know, I just can feel it. And honestly, all of the 20-something book club picks have been so good so far, so I'm really hoping that I will love this one. Now the next prompt is to read any non-fiction book written by an Asian author, and for this one I'm going with The Girl with 7 Names, I think that's the title, by Yeonseo Lee. And first of all, I'm just gonna check the title because I'm not sure I'm saying it correctly. This is the Portuguese version. Okay, yeah, The Girl with 7 Names, and this is about the story of Yeonseo Lee and her escaping North Korea. And I've already read a memoir just like this, but I've been told that this one is completely different from the one that I've read, and it's a completely different experience and story. The other one that I read, In Order to Live, was such a good read, so I just feel like this is going to be a really impactful one as well because of the themes and the story. I love reading memoirs, so I am really excited for this one. And the last prompt for the Asian Readathon is to read any book written by an Asian author that's not US centric, which I think is so important, and I'm so glad that this is a prompt. And for this one I am going with The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy, and I'm so intimidated by this book. I've said this before, but I just feel like this is the perfect time to read it. I don't know. And all that I know about this book is that it follows a family in India in the 60s That's all I know about the story, but I've heard so many great things about this book that I just need to finally read it for myself, even though I'm super intimidated by it. I don't know why. And obviously this book is set in India and the author is Indian as well. Now the other two books that I have here that don't really fit the prompt but are still by Asian authors. The first one being The People in the Trees by Anya Nagahara. You may know Anya Nagahara from A Little Life. This is a completely different story and I'm super excited to read this one because I just loved A Little Life's writing. Like, Anya Nagahara's writing is beautiful, so I just wanted to read more by this author. And I'm actually buddy reading this one with Sophia. I'll leave her channel down below and I'm super excited to read this one with her. And this book is set in the 50s and it follows a young doctor that embarks on a journey to find a Micronesian island and a lost tribe, and he ends up finding a group of jungle dwellers that have apparently conquered immortality, and he discovers their secrets and brings them back to America. And the book is about all of the repercussions of that, not only for the young doctor but also for that tribe and those jungle dwellers, and I just think it's going to be so great. I don't know, I have a lot of expectations for this one because I really liked A Little Life, and especially like the writing and the way that story was told, so I'm really curious about this one because it's a completely different story from A Little Life, obviously. And the other one is also a buddy read with my friend Charlotte here on BookTube, and I'll leave her channel down below as well. And it's An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I'm finally starting the series, yay! Finally! And this is a fantasy series. This is the first one. And this book follows our main character Leia, and her grandparents have been murdered and also her brother has been arrested, and the only way that she can help her brother escape is to turn to the rebels and to basically be a spy for the rebels. And so she goes to the Empire's greatest military academy to be a spy for the rebels and to hopefully set her brother free. And I think she meets someone there. Yeah, Elias, finest soldier, something something. There's probably a romance. It's a YA fantasy series, so I'm super curious about this one because everyone speaks so highly of the series. So yeah, I'm finally starting it and I really hope that me and Charlotte like this one. And now the last book that I plan to read in the month of May is for the Sleepy Academics book club that is hosted by Nicole from A Cup of Nicole. I'm so excited about this book club because I want to read more classics and I just feel like I don't read enough classics and I have so many to read. And yeah, this was the perfect book club for me. And I still don't have the book physically with me, but it's coming on its way hopefully. And it's A Room with a View by E.M. Forster, and I had heard about this book but I honestly don't really know what it talks about. I'm just like, I want to read classics, so I'm gonna read this random one because Nicole told me to. So no, I'm kidding. From what I just read, I think it follows our main character Lucy, and she has all her life planned out and like everything is set in stone for her. But then one day she goes to Florence in Italy with her cousin, and I think like that changes everything that she thought about her life and what her future would be like. I'm not really sure if I'm explaining this well, but that's the gist of the story, I think. And yeah, it seems really interesting, so I'm really excited to read this one with the Sleepy Academics book club. And yeah, that's my TBR for the month of May. So these are 6 of the books that I'm reading in May. So I have The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy, The People in the Trees by Anya Nagahara, An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, The Girl with 7 Names by Yeonseo Lee, Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng, and Darius the Great Is Not Okay by Deep Karam. And I'm also going to be reading A Room with a View by E.M. Forster, and I'm super excited about this TBR. I don't know why. I feel like it's going to be a great reading month, not really in terms of the amount of books that I read, but in just like the quality of the things that I read. I feel like I'm going to love all of these. I hope so. Let me know down below if you're participating in the Asian readathon as well, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!